Law Department, and Councilman Stein is with us. And Saul, if you could introduce yourself and your colleagues and then make whatever budget presentation you'd like to make.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm Saul Solomon. I'm the Law Director. To my left is Mike Safley, who is the Deputy Director of Law. To my right is Karen Carver, and Karen is our Budget Analyst and wears many, many different hats and has been a tremendous help to us throughout this process. In terms of our budget presentation, it will be quite brief. Would like to.
Bad news.
First of all, we'd all like to thank you for the opportunity to present our budget for 2015. I think in fiscal 2014, the Law Department had another very successful year, both representing our various departments, where we had well over 1,000 new matters come our way, and in addition, in terms of representing us in court, where we had over close to 350 new litigation matters that we are handling, in addition to what's already been pending. So quite a lot of work being done. That's sort of on the defensive side. On the offensive side, we continue to do a very good job collecting our attorney's fees and late fees on the tax side, where we've brought in about $4 million in the last 5 years. In addition to that, we've also brought in about $3 million on other kind of claims over the last 3 years. So we take it seriously. All that goes to general funds. We take that part of our job very seriously as well. We are asking for $7,000 in new money. All of that pretty much required. It's a rent increase, and it's a couple of HR things on the pay side that are required for the budget. That is all. And in terms of your request for 3% budget down, Mike and Karen dug very hard on that one, and we ended up choosing a different computer research tool, which saved us quite a bit of money, and not without a little bit of suffering on the part of the lawyers who preferred the old vendor. But we're just about a few months into the new vendor, and we thought it was the right thing to do given the discrepancy in cost. So with that, we're looking forward to a great 2015. And anything we can do to help, we're here and ready to do so. And any questions, we'll be happy to entertain those.
So you were able to do the reduction by just switching your legal research tool?
Yeah, we went out to bid on our legal research tool, and a competitor's bid was significantly lower. And if it had been, the discrepancy was good enough that we really had to go ahead and try the new one. But I think it's a good program, but Mike might want to jump in here. But we think the competitive program is probably a little bit better, but not for the price.
Well, I think that's a great way of doing your budget reduction. There are other ways of doing it, Mike, and this
worked out. It was very timely. The switching from the old product was the one that was preferred by everyone, but the cost was just so significant that we couldn't pass up that opportunity. So we were going to do it, and that was before we even knew we were going to have a budget reduction. So it worked out well.
very good. You've been putting more of an emphasis on prosecuting code violations.
Yes, I think that we take that very seriously. We work very, very close with the codes department, and we want to make sure that the neighborhoods are how they're supposed to be run and people are doing the right things. And I think that's a very good program on our part. In addition, we spend a lot of time with planning to make sure that the city's plan is put into effect and we do the right thing there as well. So.
Okay. And how's recruitment going? Have you had openings, and are you able to attract the talent you need? Or
do you want to take that one? You started opening your mouth.
He did. I saw that.
Honestly, we haven't had a vacancy in over a year, so we have had no jobs to offer. We have continued to interview. We have very well qualified attorneys come through. I kind of keep a running list, and I had about 16 that to call back if we had a situation occur. But keeping up with those, 12 of those have since gotten other jobs. So there are candidates out there, certainly, but we haven't had a need.
The work, it's a stable department in terms of employment. Well, that's good. Karen, I turn the floor over to you. Anything you want to add, or how's Mr. Solomon doing?
He's doing okay, you know.
That's a ringing endorsement. Thanks, Karen.
Stronger than I expected.
You do a great job.
Thanks. Thank you, Deputy Mayor.
Mr. Solomon.
I was going to say Karen Carpenter. That's what threw me. So.
All right, Greg?
I think it's one question we should maybe worth addressing here publicly, because one of the things you're going to see in the budget when it's finally approved is a fairly large increase in some of the insurance and judgment loss reserve funds. And it might be worth just taking a second to sort of explain those, because when the council gets the budget, they're going to see some increases there, fairly sizable. I thought it might be worth just touching on that just for a moment.
Okay. Mike?
There are annual supplements to the funds that we have to handle all our judgment and losses and the expenses that go into to defend these. Mayor, as you well know, we have separate funds for basically our negligence claims and then our everything else. Over the past several years, we have tracked it, and there's been a gradual decline in the balance that we have had in the funds. It did not appear as though it was really a good time in the past to try to bolster the reserves that we have, but it's kind of reached the point to where this year it was felt that we needed to, because it's just an accumulation of 7 or 8 years of gradual decline. So, that's what it is, and it was just the fact that it needed to be done at this time.
I think the only thing I would add to that, it's not a case where our liabilities have been increasing a lot over the past 3, 4, 5 years. It's actually been fairly steady in terms of the lawsuits and the judgments against us and the settlements. It's more of watching the reserves go down a little bit each year. We need to just bump them up this year. So I don't think anybody needs to worry too much about the trend. The trend's okay.
That's just the right thing to get them funded at that level. Right. Yeah. Okay, good. Well, thank you for all your hard work. We appreciate you, and glad that everything's so stable.
Well, we appreciate all 3 of you, so thank you very much.